Hello, hello. Welcome back to the weekly Monday Motivation Podcast, No More Excuses. I am your host, Sandi Ballard, the badass business coach. Thanks for being here, for sharing the podcast with others, but for investing in you. Oh my gosh. Today, first, I want to thank listener Bev Bushney from Shropshire. Hope I said that right. UK for subscribing to my YouTube channel and for investing in her and for reaching out, right? Say thank you. So thank you very much for letting me know you're listening. And today is going to be some real talk. Yes, real shit. The reality in whatever form, right? Today, I would like to discuss stress. Oh my gosh, yes, stress. It unfortunately comes in your business owner packet. As soon as you sign that dotted line, here it is. Welcome to stress. Even if you don't own a business, but you're a team lead, management, well, welcome to the stress packet of hell, right? It's just life. It shows up in many forms. I don't know, the mail, the phone, email, just some sort of notification on your phone, whatever. It comes in many forms. Even if you're rocking it, you're just a badass, having success, growing, getting up every day, doing it all over again because you love what you're doing. That little stress package will show up and try to take you down, and it sucks. It's distracting, it's all consuming, it can steal your time, your mind, and many times how you feel physically. I'm not exempt. Oh my gosh, been an entrepreneur for 29 years. Oh, I mean, as I was writing this and pausing, um, I decided to distract myself and scroll to TikTok. And the first post, it was obviously this little video skit, and it said, "Good morning, fuckers. If you're feeling overwhelmed, have your little moment, then fix your crown and be the bad bitch that you are." And I was like, I just started laughing. I'm like, exactly. Have your moment. We have to get it out. People who internalize the stress, well, you're going to have more trouble physically and mentally. It takes longer to work through it. Yes, have your moment. Do your best to not let it, whatever it is, consume you. Figure out what or who sent you that stupid little stress package and face it. And when I say have your moment, I'm not saying go out and lose your shit on someone. Go for a run, hike, bike, or all. Meditate if that's your thing. Have a good cry. Do something to relax mentally and have it distract you. That's how ideas, can come to you on ways to get through whatever this stress or challenge is, right? One day I was out on a run, and I started to feel the stress coming on before I went out. And my man Candy, if he knows I'm waking up stressed or I just start talking about it, he's like, just go for a run, go for a bike ride, go do something, just get out. And I was overwhelmed with a lot of ideas and changes that I've made with website hosting, with my women's group Taboo Talk, with that community platform, with a lot of things, and how I was networking and marketing as well. I did it all at once. Why? I don't know. It was a new year. Do things differently, right? Well, it was just overwhelming. So I went for a run and I stopped at my Think Pad, which is a little paved area off the beach path that leads up to the waves. And I just stand there and think about the things I'm grateful for. Just listen and let the ocean waves, kind of distract me. And as I was standing there, I had a meeting with someone coming up about some more changes and taking over some parts of my marketing, and some thoughts came to my mind. And I was like, all right. So I just stood there, took my phone out, and emailed myself a list of questions for him and just different thoughts I had. It just felt great to get it out of my head. And there's no way that I would have thought about that had I just been sitting at my desk thinking about the stress, thinking about the proposal, thinking about the money that's going to go out the door. I was like, I got it out of my head. I got a time to relax and think about it. And now I could face it. Right. And ironically, the top stressor for business owners is money, whether it's lack of sales or too much debt to try to get things going or keep things going. You got to spend it to make it, right? Well, It takes money to make money, yes, but sometimes if you don't see the return on investment quick enough, it can be stressful. But pay attention to your expectations. You know, with certain things with marketing and advertising, what are the expectations? What are your expectations? But what are the I guess maybe the promises or the world around who's helping you. You know, years ago, my business partner was in the public relations field, and we had a client. He had to ask, and he asked every time. He asked her on the PR side, "Can't I just pay you when I see the return on investment?" She's like, "That's just not how it works. I'm still doing the work." So it can be stressful. The second thing that's high on the stress list for business owners is staff. Hiring too fast, perhaps out of desperation, or not being able to ask the right questions during an interview. That happened to me when I had my marketing firm. Legally, you can't ask certain questions, and nowadays it's even more tough. More, it's stranger, it's different, or finding out later that the person you hired is just not the right fit. I've helped people, business owners, move people around, the right seat on the bus, before they start hiring or firing and trying to rehire, because that's so time consuming and stressful, right? So we looked at everyone on staff. We had them do an activity of writing about their day, doing those giant post-it notes, just talking about their day. What are the top 5 to 10 things you do every day? And what's the most important thing about your role that you love? Well, there were quite a few people who did not talk about their main role. And I would kind of interview them afterward and talk about that. And the few people that did that, I was like, talk to me about what you love about what you do. Talk to me about what you don't love. And it was really interesting. It was very eye-opening. And it was really super cool to see how that helped us move people around, and the stress level and the communication. And it just was a breath of fresh air. So it was really cool. And guess what? They didn't have to fire anyone. They just moved people around. Well, and then the third thing is just trying to do it all. I've talked about that so much. It could be from money, lack of money. You don't think you can afford to hire, or lack of help. You can't find the right person to hire, or not knowing how to delegate. You might have the people to delegate to, you just don't know how. And that leads to something I hear a lot. I need more hours in the day, or I need 3 of me. Well, if you're feeling like you have to do it all, put a dollar amount to the task you'd like to get rid of. Excuse me. How many hours are you spending doing the shit you don't like to do? What are you doing that you're not good at, don't like to do? What would it take to recoup that money? How many hours? So put an hourly rate to it. And if you're paying yourself 100, 150, I don't care if it's $25 an hour. How many hours are you spending? And what would it take to get rid of that? If you're spending 10 to 20 hours on something, hiring someone. And when I say hire, it doesn't mean full time. It can be part time. It could be 1099, virtual assistant, intern, volunteer. Think about different ways to hire or to get rid of the things that aren't a good use of your time, right? It could be collaborating with someone and trading services too. you know, some of the stressors are all related, the whole do it or pay for it. If you can't hire, you're having to do it all because you can't afford to hire, well, and you can't find the right people to hire, then that's all about money, right? Money, money, money. Well, and stress, stress, stress. And take the strongest person down. It can cause you to doubt yourself mentally. It could doubt your ability to run a business or lead a team. And it can cause you to become exhausted mentally and physically. If you've listened to me long enough, you've heard me talk about how much shit is in your head that's stealing who you are. If you think about it, if you have only 40% that you're really working, that you feel is you, 60% of your stuff is just the shit that's going on in your head, the chaos. 40% is all you're giving to your customers, clients, staff, volunteers. 40% is all you're giving to your business, your team, your friends, your family, and most importantly, you. That's why it's so important to check out. Give your mind a break. but face what or who sent you that damn package of stress. Talk with someone, a therapist, a coach, yes, someone who has no skin in the game. Sometimes friends and family or significant others aren't necessarily the best to talk to because they don't necessarily see all of it. A lot of my friends are entrepreneurs. I don't always feel like I can talk to them because they don't really understand what it's like. They get a steady paycheck. They don't have clients take breaks. They don't have, they can go on vacation without phone calls, right? So it's okay. Talk to someone that's outside of your world. Money, if you've exhausted all your avenues for money, go back to the basics. I just coached a client on that. Maybe you have too many things going on. Go back to the basics or get a part-time gig to help fund your passion. If it's staffing issues, disc assessment, I'm disc certified. There's free ones all over. I can send you the link to send out to your staff to take the disc assessment. It's a great way to see how each other communicates, how you want to give and receive information, and if you need to let people go, or suck it up and hire, right? Doing it all. The third thing, if you're trying to do it all and you can't delegate or you won't, it's easy to say, just delegate it. I do way more than I should over 29 years of being a sole proprietor. It happens. I hired the wrong virtual assistants at the wrong time. Communication and time difference didn't help. I jumped in too fast. I was like, okay, this is great. I need the help. Boom. And it didn't work out. I hired years ago, I had my marketing firm. As I mentioned, I couldn't ask the right questions. I couldn't ask certain questions about health. He had some medical issues that clearly affected his job. And my financial advisor was like, go back to when you were making money. So I changed him to a 1099. I paid him per project. His mistakes were his own, not on the company time. And it resolved itself. It's not always easy to overcome stress. The biggest thing is just to slow down, look around, and make sure you have three things: strong boundaries, clear expectations, and a supportive environment. All right? Strong boundaries, clear expectations, and a supportive environment. And if you don't have those things, stress is going to happen. It's going to show up when you least expect it. And it doesn't matter if you want to fight it, you got to face it. So, you've got to truly make sure you do what you're doing, what you love. Contact me, Sandi at sandiballard.com, message me, direct message me, find me. I have connections to therapists, nutritionists, lawyers, human resources, other resources that could help you. And yes, me, obviously, and see if that helps you. I do free 30-minute consults. Contact me. I challenge you to review your stress level. Be honest. Don't have an ego about it because life is a team sport. All right. I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to continuing to help you work through the stress of being a business owner, through the stress of being a team lead, management, CEO, whatever it is that's causing you to only operate at a lower percentage and not show up like you should for yourself and for everybody else. Have a great week. I look forward to hearing from you and helping you grow and be the badass that you are. Cheers.